Well, I'd love to say there was a roadmap, but there really wasn't. It was just a hodgepodge of many experiences throughout my life that kind of got me here. I'm first generation American. My background is Colombian, and so I was the first one to speak English, the representative of my family. So it was always this need to want to support vulnerable people or provide a voice for them. So throughout my career, a lot of what I've been focusing on has been government relations and community relations. Through that work, I was able to work at the state controller's office. I worked for the governor's office for a bit, and during a very devastating time when Long Island was hit by Sandy, I was designated as the Suffolk County Regional Representative in charge of the Governor's Office of Storm Recovery. Through that experience, I became somewhat of an advocate for Long Island and the needs of what Long Island needed versus other parts of the state. And through that, I became the Suffolk lead for the governor in general. And when we saw this wonderful opportunity, at Cornell Cooperative Extension, it was just such a great fit. It was presented to me as an opportunity that I couldn't pass up. And then COVID happened, and it was like forcing us to think even more outside the box. To some degree, it created an even better environment, because there were no rules. There was nothing that people were gonna say, that's not right. It's like, I don't know, let's try. One of the things that COVID just showed us was that we can't totally freak out. And that's hard, because it's such a difficult time, but you have to stay calm. Every day it was changing. So it's like, by the time you're freaking out about one thing, before the end of the day, you might have had to freak out about something else. So it was important to stay level-headed, balanced in our overall long-term goals, but at the same time it was important to be very conservative, really check in with our staff. And so it's not about just checking in on the outside and making sure everybody outside is okay. It's also like, how are employees doing? In the world of Marine, things were shut down. It was an unknown world. Were we allowed to provide support for our services? Was our programming allowed to run? How are we going to pivot everything to provide that need? It was very important to check in with everybody and then check in with our stakeholders. What were they needing during this difficult time? And sometimes it was things like making sure our fishermen had access to the vaccine or just had access to the information. That local flavor, all that stuff that I've been saying about advocacy for Long Island and really being a part of the region, I think that's what I was so engaged by and so interested by, the applied work that we do and how it impacts at that very local level. There are so many areas for expansion for Marine. When it comes to shoreline restoration, we discovered after Sandy how important it is for us to fortify our shoreline. Projects like working with eelgrass and rib mussels, as well as things like bulkheading, PRB bulkheading, all of these projects are really essential for our municipalities to become informed about and to invest in, because it really does protect their residents and the shoreline. In addition, for shellfish restoration, all of this food is not just a staple for our area. It also helps to clean our waters and our waterways. I think it's very important, and I think our local governments understand that. They've put pools of funding together to support this type of work. A lot to come for Marine. I'm very excited. The funding is also there. We just have to go get it. And so with that, hopefully we'll be talking a lot new great things for Marine next year.